What's happening, people? Welcome back to Out of the Loop. So today we are going to make some sounds in Serum. I'm going to make some basic fundamental sounds for melodic house and then just try and make them a little bit more special. All these sounds will be available on the Patreon for tier 2 people. So yeah, let's get into the video and have a bit of fun. Cool, so here I am in Ableton. I've got a little drum groove playing behind here. It's just got a bit of character. It's a little bit organic sounding, but it's just for something to kind of play along with. So what I want to do first is I think we're going to go with a bass first. So we're going to take a sawtooth and we're going to put this filter on, which I have here, and we will make a sustained bass. So this is all good. This is the first envelope, but then the second envelope, I'm going to make this a little bit more of a kind of stabby shape. Cool. So let's just bring that down. Nice and deep. I think I'm going to make this a little bit of a stronger filter. And I think I'm going to change this waveform so it's a little bit nicer sounding. So with the saw rounded, it's a little bit smoother. We can actually make it a little bit rougher. We'll just turn it down a bit. Just hear what it's like with the track. Yeah, nice and fat, but it's not really got much character to it. So we're going to add another oscillator here. And possibly we could use this for filter modulation, or we can use it for another voice. I'm going to try it with another voice, so we'll just attach this same filter so it's being filtered. And we'll come down an octave. So this is playing around this mid-range here. Turn it down a bit. And we'll just actually filter it down a little bit. Oh, the other thing I wanted to do actually was to make this envelope a little bit plucky. So it's going to still sustain because this is the first envelope is being sustained. If I took this sustain all the way down, you'll hear that it's still sustaining, but we do want to add a little bit of the actual this envelope sustain as well, so it doesn't just die off. Now you got this nice kind of stabby. So we'll put this in mono. And we're going to put on always, and then we're going to bring this all the way up. And this is going to make it glide. And we can make this into a bit of a respace, which is always nice to do. So we just add the fifth here. Yeah, nice. So we'll add a bit of width. Going to add some unison to this voice here, and then on this one I'm going to put this on 5, bring this down, take the random phase down. Whoa, nice. And I think we need to just reduce the width a little bit, so you go into the global settings, just bring this down a little bit. And maybe the glide down a little bit as well. So that just adds a little bit more bite. Cool. And we could actually make this waveform a little bit more nicer as well. We'll go on to, we'll do the same, maybe with a square. Yeah, that's nice. So I really just want this sub to come through a bit more. There we go. So this is, you got to think of it like this is going to be my real low sub area, and then this is my upper mid bass. Sounds a little bit garagey, which I really like. We can add a little bit of distortion, just a little bit. Turn it down a bit, it's getting a bit loud. As you add these effects, it's going to add a bit of volume. Yeah, nice. Bit of compression. We can actually leave those settings as they are. They're good. It's not too harsh of an attack. We could bring the release down a bit. It's just going to control it a little bit. And you could add a little bit of reverb, but just to the top part of the sound. So we can do that here with the whole verb. We'll just bring this low up. Yeah. That's adding a really nice character. Take the spin down. I think the spin you don't really need when you have like the unison, because it already has this kind of chorusy feeling. Cool. And you could go a little bit further, or not really. I think it's at a good point. I don't want to push it too much. I might just add a little bit more distortion. Yeah. Okay, the last thing I actually want to do is just add a bit of a noise oscillator, and this will just be for the top part of the sound. So I'm going to use this J60, and I'm going to make sure that it's filtered, and that's just going to be... It's just going to add more character when I open it up. I'm going to bring it down a little bit, make it a little bit shorter. Yeah, nice. Add a little bit of drive to the filter as well, the last thing we'll do. And actually, I need to just add a little bit of a attack here because it's getting a bit clicky. Yeah, nice. Cool, so we'll get some MIDI down. And that's what I want to do. I just need to remember it. I think I can remember that actually. So it's like this. Dum, da, 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 dum. Yeah, on the D, sorry, on the wrong one. And we're just gonna like walk up. Da da dum. Yeah, nice. And then we have the drop down here. Might be a bit low. Yeah, I think it might be a little bit low. Also, the other thing I need to do is I'm just noticing that it's a little bit too reverby. So I'm just going to do some mid-side EQ before we get stuck in. So we go here, mid-side, cut the sides down quite harshly. We can push it a little bit in this area here. Yeah. Could go start on the A. Yeah. And I think a little gap would actually be quite nice here. Yeah. And then another one. And we just work down. Boom. And then just like a... Sounds a little bit like... what's his name? Well, Tashini? I can't remember how to pronounce his name. But yeah, I mean, it's quite heavy and deep house bass, but you can definitely just tamper with that and make it a little less heavy, and that could just depend on the melody that you're playing. The melody that I am playing is within the D sharp minor scale, which is a little bit of a dark scale, and it can add a little bit of this dirtiness, griminess, but I really like it, so I'm going to stick with it. So let's do the next sound. I should probably save this as well. And like I said before, this will be available in the Patreon for tier 2 people. And sorry guys that are in the Patreon and the tier 2 people, it's took me a while to add to this pack. But yeah, so this pack is something that I'm going to be adding to every now and again. So we'll call this Grimy Bass. Yeah, so I'm adding to it, like whenever I have time, I'll just add some sounds to it. At the minute it's got about 40 presets in there, or maybe a little bit more than that, and then it will just keep growing throughout the year. So it gives you an incentive to stay subscribed as a Patreon, so you can get these sounds every now and again. Cool, so let's go to the next patch. So we'll just duplicate this, and then I might keep the MIDI here because I think I would like to do like a pluck based around the MIDI that I have there. So we need to change this though. It's definitely not what we want. I'm going to initialize the patch actually just to make it a bit easier. So we take this filter here straight away. Same kind of thing. Put a little envelope here. Oh, I'll make it a bit bigger. Yep. A little bit bigger than that. There you go. Cool. So yeah, we'll just change this to one direction there. So we're getting this kind of, oh, wrong one. Too much. And again, I think I'm going to change this to a similar waveform. I like this saw rounded. Okay, cool. So we're going to make this a little bit plucky. A little bit more. Same with this envelope. Just kind of find a sweet spot. Nice and short, but with a bit of release, so it doesn't just die off straight away. To be fair, you don't need to use both envelopes. I could have just used this one here. But maybe we can do something with this envelope, because it's just doing the same shape. If the amp and the other envelope is doing the same thing, it's not gonna make any difference. But yeah, like I said, I could use this in a different area. So what we want to do now is just try and make this sound a little bit interesting and nice. I think I'm going to put it into, we'll leave it in poly actually. I could add a little bit of glide, add a bit of drive, turn it down a bit. Just going to filter it here. You can filter it within Serum, but yeah, it's just easier so I can see what the frequency is doing. And that's adding a little bit of this resonance here, which I don't. Yeah, cool. So we do want some effects on this, like a bit of reverb. I think I'm just going to use the plate. And you can hear the pre-delay is just adding... it's like duplicating the sound essentially and adding a bit of delay there where I don't really want too much of. Just want a sense of space. Cool, and we can add a bit of unison and bring the detune down. Bring the random phase down so it doesn't keep panning left and right. I'd rather control the panning, so say if I go here and we put this LFO onto the panning, this is going to go really quick, but we'll just slow it down. We don't want it that much, but a little bit is nice. Yeah, it's nice and pretty, but maybe we want to add something else. I think maybe just some FM. So we can go filter modulation or FM from B. And if I turn the volume down on this, you're not going to hear this. It's just going to be modulating this waveform here if I bring this up. So that's when you push it too much, it's a little bit nasty. But you could get some cool sounds out of that if you fine tune it. But a little bit of it's quite nice. That's really nice and pretty. I think it might be enough. I don't really want to push it too much, but a little bit of noise. Yeah, it's a nice noise oscillator. And that's just for when we open it up. And what we could add is a little bit of, I think I'm going to add this to the cutoff. So we have an LFO. And we could do something with this, so maybe we make it a little bit interesting. Slight movements, yeah. And just to add a little bit of interest. Let's see how much this is doing. Yeah. You can hear it's just slightly giving it some character. And this is what I'm trying to do with the sounds, that you don't really want to push something too far where it's like unusable, but maybe it's a cool sound, but maybe it's just too weird. So I still want it to be nice and not overly complicated, so I can play a nice melody with it and the notes don't get in the way of each other and stuff like that. Yeah, it might be a little bit much and a bit fast. Or if you go super fast. Yeah, nah. And also, the velocity on here is really important. So as I press more, it's going to open the cutoff more. Same with this note. So as I play up the keyboard, it will affect the filter, the cutoff. This will as well, actually. This noise down a little bit. It's got a real like retro kind of feel to it, and we could also add to that with a little bit of chorus. Just the top parts of the sound. And I think a bit of delay on this would actually be really nice. Yeah, really nice and pretty. And you see here I'm just filtering, so I'm only delaying the top part of the sound. A little bit less feedback. In fact, I don't think the chorus is doing anything good. But yeah, that's nice. I do want a bit of compression. And we're going to just open the attack up so it's not compressing the kind of pluckiness of the sound or the attack of the sound. Bring the threshold down a bit. Or up a bit, sorry. It's just going to control it a little bit there. Yeah, I'm happy with this. I'm just thinking if there's anything more we can add to it. We could change this waveform actually, sorry. So when I'm doing some filter modulation, which is, so this is modulating this, it's good to use a sine wave. Because sawtooths can be a little bit too, a little bit too complex. And you see now, if I push it a little bit more, it's more subtle. Yeah, I like that a lot. Cool, we'll save this. Here. And call this Pretty Pluck. I'll come up with a better name of it at some point. But yeah, cool. So let's now get this to fit somehow with this deep sounding thing. I'm sure I can do it. Well, let's have a look. So we're going to start on the A. And I think I want to just play something like... I'll turn it down a bit. A little bit more. And actually want it to be a lot more closed off. One of these is opening a little bit too much. Use this. A little bit of this. And the velocity, actually, I would rather it go both ways. Same with the note. There we go. So that's actually really nice, just layering this, but maybe we can go a bit further with this here. Maybe this could be a bit more. Yeah, that's nice. I think this could be. Yeah, so that same pattern. So we go like this. Yeah, nice and simple. Simplicity is the key. And then we'll just do that again here. Change that to here. And just do a little thing at the end. Because it's layering with that bass, but it's playing higher up, so they're not getting in the way of each other. You know, it's playing here and the bass is kind of in this lower area here. Yeah, I would play around with that a little bit more, but I don't want to concentrate on the MIDI too much for now. So let's open up Serum again, and we'll go with a pad. I think I might have added too much reverb to this, where it sounds a little bit too far away. Oh. So I'm just going to bring this down a bit. I would like it to be a little bit more in my face. Let me see if mono will. No. Yeah, I think what I'll do is we'll go to global here and we'll just reduce this width. So ideally with a pluck or lead, you do want it to be a little bit more mono and a little bit more, not just dry, but like clean and in your face in a way. That's when you might hear a track and go, oh my god, that sounds so clean. Usually it's because it's not drowned in reverb, which is what people tend to do, and I've done that a lot. It's just because it sounds really nice when you add reverb to things, but it will also sound a lot nicer if you have it quite clean and dry in the mix, and then have all this other stuff that's a bit more washed out, which is what we're going to make right now. So we're going to make something like a pad that can just be in the background, very distant, and just adding a little bit of character, I guess. I'm also going to just copy this MIDI down, but I'm going to make the MIDI... I'm not going to do these little frill things here. We're just going to follow this kind of pattern. Maybe we go up an octave. Yeah. Put this strong filter on again. Actually, I want to go down. So I want to take up a chord, essentially, that's going to take up this area here. I will make it into a chord, maybe, or maybe just have a single note, we'll see. So what we can do, I will use two oscillators so we can make a chord with this. We can actually add the fifth because it will harmonize with the bass, because the bass has the fifth added as well. So if I just add the fifth, or 7 semitones up, which is the fifth note in the scale. Oh, and put this on. And what I can do is just add a little bit of a pad feeling, bit of release here. And we can just bring the sustain down a little bit. And it just needs to have a little bit more of a like width and depth to it. I'm going to change this to, we'll just go to basic mini. This one's nice. You see, if you don't reduce the detune, it just sounds really bad. That could work. It definitely needs more love. I'm gonna add this as well, and definitely some noise. I think it's really nice for a pad. I have some weird error with Serum where my noise oscillator always resets. So I'm just going to add maybe the bright white. And I think for a pad, it's really nice to have like an LFO on here. And it's definitely too loud. I mean, that kind of works, but maybe we can add a little bit more of a character here. So we could get it so that the rate of this opens up with this. So if I remember how to do that correctly. So I add this to here. And we could just make it so it's a bit more rhythmical. So I'm just going to make it go in one direction. There we go. And if I change this to a bit of a saw down, and you can get it to fit a little bit more on time. So I'll change it back to BPM. It's actually a nice little layer. I wasn't planning to make this sound. I was more planning to make a bit more of a pad, but this is complementing the other stuff quite nicely. But we need to make it a little bit more in the background. I think just push it quite back in the mix. Delay would not be necessary, but a little bit of distortion. This hyper dimensions on it. And with this distortion, I might make it a little bit more strong. Maybe a bit of glide. I think I would like that to open up itself, so we just put an LFO on here, a slow one. And I want a little bit more noise, I want it to be a bit more dirty. There we go. It was a little bit too high up, so yeah, let's bring that down. And we'll just reduce it a little bit here, so it's not clashing so much with the other stuff. And hopefully you can see that. Yeah, you can. I want this to really just be taking up this area more because we've got this pluck that's taking up this area. See what it's like with a different waveform here, maybe the saw rounded. Yeah, that's nice. So this is a bit more of a square wave, but it's like a smooth square wave. Cool, yeah, this is a nice little sound, so we can just save this. We'll call this LFO pad noise. Great name. Cool, yeah. So I was just planning to do 3 sounds, but I think I do want like a bit more of a chord thing, so I will do what I was set out to do in that sound there. But yeah, it was a cool little sound. And this is something that I do. I'm not sure if I said this already, but it's something I do try to do once a week. Well, I'll just sit down and make some sounds. Maybe I'll make this into a track, maybe not. But just sitting down and just making weird sounds, seeing how far you can push something before it gets really bad and ugly, is something I try and do all the time, just to learn new things. But yeah, so now we are going to make a chord. So what I want to do is just put this filter here, and I think we can just have like we'll make it a bit bigger. Hello. Cool. So I think we'll come down. Yeah, so something there that's just sustaining. Do want to add a bit of width. And then I think we will add that. Oh, always forget to do that. We could add this fifth the other way down. Yeah, and what I want to do is push that as well into the back in the mix. This could be quite nice with quite a few voices here. I'm going to put this to 9. Bit of that noise again. Just use like the first one, or like the bright white. That's kind of what I want. So I'm going to put this here, and I want it to just slowly open and then quickly close. And it just gets a bit loud there. Maybe a bit longer. Yeah, nice. A bit more noise. And what we'll do, we could try a little bit of multiband compression. And that's just really bringing out the top end of the sound, but it also compresses it so it's not too harsh. I think it'd be nice with a bit of a delay until this, if I remember how to do that, which I don't think I do. How do you add it? I don't think you can in Serum. You can in Vital. So what I mean is like a bit of a delay until that happens. So I guess I can do it with this instead. So we just get rid of this and we attach this to here instead. And then we will do that kind of similar shape. Something like that. And then just add a delay. And very slow. To be fair, I think that's quite nice because it's ending at the end of each segment. But I think I would like it to be not so often. That works. So let's go a little bit further and then just make this into a bit of a nicer chord. So we have these notes here and we'll just do it note by note. Yeah, that works. So adding the fifth is always a good way, a good rule. Because I have the fifth added to it anyway, so it's just like I'm playing octaves on top of each other, even though this isn't the fifth, sorry, but say if what I'm playing now is the A plus minus 5 semitones in the other oscillator, so we go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so I'm playing the F here, and then if I play this as well, it's going to be playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it's going to be playing the A kind of twice, plus D, plus the F, which just adds like a nice character. And we just do that each time, so the C here. Could go a bit further, but it might get a little bit complicated now, so let's see if we can add a little bit more. See, if I add that F, it's essentially like I'm playing this F sharp plus the F plus all of that. It's too much. Same again. That could be something that's nice to add later on in the track, just adds a little bit more tension, but I think this is good to go. Now just push that back in the mix. And then, just to be a bit fancy, I would add a little bit of a shimmer, also reducing the lows here. So if you add a bit of a shimmer through Valhalla, just so that this is a really nice reverb. But you could use, there is one in Ableton which has a similar effect, but this one I've found has got a bit of a better tone. So we put the mix up to 50%, so there's a lot of reverb on this sound, but I don't really want it to be too much up front in the mix. Add the big stereo, dual reverse, a bit more size. Yeah, nice. So it's there, but it's not like too distracting. It's still harmonizing with everything. I think it works really, really well. So yeah, I'll just save this as well and call this fifth pad. Cool. Yeah, so that about wraps it up. We'll just have a little listen to everything together. Yeah, I like it. I'm enjoying it. I would go further with this sound or with this track and expand the ideas a little bit more, but there's a good basis there to work off. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, let me know in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you head over to the Patreon, the sounds will be available, the patches that we just made will be available for the tier 2 people in Patreon. Cool guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.